I feel sure he did because he delivered all the babies. But very likely he picked him up and said, you know, biggest baby I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
I know you gonna dig this. Get funky with me.
Enough. Thank you, DeKalb. That's made it pretty easy for me to find the grave of Dan Blocker. What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in DeKalb, Texas. And big shout out to the Williams House Museum, which is just around the corner here. Carolyn, lady who runs it's been very sweet. Spent a couple of hours with her yesterday. Gonna insert some footage from there because there's an exhibit on Dan Blocker, Hoss from Bonanza there, and it's actually just right over there. I was filming another video, another topic, and she was telling me about the famous people from the area, and she said Dan Blocker, Hoss Cartwright. I said, he's from here? And she said, yeah. I said, oh wow. She said, yes, he's buried in the cemetery. I said, oh wow, where's the cemetery? She said, out back. So here I am. Take a look at the back right there. Dan Blocker, Hoss Cartwright. Some people may be asking, who? I don't think so, though. This video is dedicated to my late father, for sure, because he was a huge, huge fan of Westerns and a huge fan of Bonanza. My sister's watching this video right now, I'm sure, and thinking about my father. And we, at my father's funeral, a few years ago, when it came time for the casket to be taken out by the pallbearers, we played at full volume, the Bonanza theme as his casket was carried out. People were a little shocked and like, what? And then some laughter and clapping along. And because if you knew my father, you knew that was something he loved. He loved Westerns. He grew up watching them. So, Bonanza, yeah, it means a lot to me. The show, Hoss Cartwright, and like I said, it's from a dad. Now, of course, it aired before I was even born, but my dad would watch reruns, and I don't think I even really liked watching them back then. But then in the 90s, I remember watching it on, I can't remember what channel it was in Canada, but I started to kind of like it secretly. I didn't tell my dad. But if I ever see it on now, I'll watch it, and it's great. We have 14 seasons, and it's a good show. There's a reason why it ran so long. Well written, funny, dramatic, action, everything you want. Michael Landon, Lorne Greene, a fellow Canadian. Yeah, Bonanza was awesome. Now I'm gonna cut soon to clips of me inside the museum talking about Dan, but I'll just give you a few things. I mean, we talk about the fact that he was born here and he was the biggest baby born in Bowie County, which is the county that we're in. And there was a story in TV Guide, I don't know if this is true, maybe Carolyn will write in the comments when she says that at one point when he was really little or young, he lifted a car off of a man after it slid off a jack, and it pinned him under the car. I don't know if that's true. It was in TV Guide. Remember TV Guide? So they moved to O'Donnell, Texas, his family, after they were living in DeKalb, because I believe his father lost the farm that they had out here, and he went into the grocery business. Then Dan went to Texas Military Institute, where he played football. And that's where he fell in love with acting. Because he played a role in a campus play there. And there's his grave right there. So he graduated in 1950 with a degree in English. And then he went to Boston and did some acting work. Oh, I almost forgot that he was drafted into the Army. And he served in the Korean War. He made sergeant. Then he earned a master's degree in dramatic arts. Taught English and drama. Then in New Mexico, he taught 6th grade. He then moved his family to California. So he started getting bit parts on television shows. And then he was in so many Westerns. He was just... There's a rumor that he was spotted at a payphone once in full Western gear because he's from Texas. And that's how he got discovered. Not sure if that's true either. You know, these things pop up kind of about people. You never know the legend behind them. I think it's just a hard-working guy. Gunsmoke, Maverick, The Rifleman, a whole bunch of that. And then Bonanza. And I believe Bonanza debuted in September of 1959. Something I didn't know was it was shot in color, and RCA made color TVs, so they saw the program as a good way to promote their color TVs. So they sponsored the first 2 seasons of the show. And the show was doing poorly. Like a lot of great shows, Cheers, Seinfeld come to mind, was doing so poorly in the ratings. But apparently the sponsorship of RCA led NBC to kind of keep it on. And then it started rising and rising. It became one of the biggest shows of all time. Lorne Greene, Michael Landon, Pernell Roberts, and Dan Blocker. They were making $10,000 per episode. And then when Pernell Roberts left, they kind of divvied up his salary, so they were making more. He was making a lot of money at the time. He had a Bonanza steakhouse, a chain of them, I think. Bonanza made all of them very, very wealthy people. And made them all kind of immortal. Because they're all legends. They're all legends. And look at this. Look at the people. Let's see. Okay, now let's cut over. I'm going to show you the Dan Blocker exhibit that is in the museum here. So wait, Hoss, he was the biggest baby ever born in the county?
Yes. They said 14 pounds.
My goodness.
Now, you know, we had a doctor, and I feel sure Dr. Crew delivered him. I feel sure he did because he delivered all the babies. But very likely he picked him up and said, you know, biggest baby I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's a big dude. Born not too far from here. You said right around in the house, and he was always home to the Blockers. His mother lived here, then he died in 1972. What?
He had gallbladder surgery, and about 2 weeks after having surgery, they went out to eat Mexican food, and he got sick, and they thought it was just the Mexican food, but it was not. There was a blood clot that went to his brain.
Dang. 1972. So how old? He was dead at 43 years old. 43, it says here.
I mean, 43, and Ricky was 45, I believe. In here,
He died in California, I believe. Yes. Yes.
we have family pictures that Miss Blocker gave us, and also Dan's wife sent Christmas cards. We had a lady here in town that was very good friends with them, and Miss Blocker sent.
Is he one of these kids?
That would have been his kids.
Oh, it's his kids.
Yeah, he had 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm not sure who that is. That looks like his daddy.
It's crazy how they all look, you know, like family photos. Like just
Right.
he's a regular
Well,
guy.
everybody that knew him said that he was just like he was on the show, just a good old boy, you know.
And here she is with 2 of the children at the.
Right.
Wow.
I think his wife is still alive. The last, the woman that lived here died, And so we don't get any more correspondences. The last ones were pictures where okay, this is grandchildren and such, and they went to a wedding in Austria, I believe, and we've got a bunch of pictures from that. But,
Wow. That's amazing the family donates something like that.
right. This was Miss Blocker.
That's his mother?
No, this is Miss Blocker right there. That's his son, Dirk.
You can tell, right? I mean, he looks a lot like him.
Yeah. And then this lady lived here in DeKalb, and she and Miss Blocker were very good friends.
So that's his
That's Miss
Dan,
Blocker.
that's Dan's mom.
Yes,
So his grandmother.
yes.
Is that her? That's her there
That's
too?
her, yeah.
Wow. Just lived a simple life out here. And
Right.
my son's a huge Hollywood
Exactly,
star, yeah?
Here they are at the wedding. That's all kids and grandkids and family, friends.
Right. And that's, and there he is.
And that's supposed to be a life size.
The cockeyed cowboys of Calico County. That's,
Right. I've never seen that.
No, I've never
one
seen
either.
that one either. I've never seen that. Oh, Jim Backus, Mickey Rooney,
Yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Cassidy, big star, Nanette Fabre. Big
They had
stars.
a bunch, you know.
Look at this. Look at some of the, it was definitely, yeah, they're all kind of making weird eyes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
These are pictures of Dan's home in California.
Right.
Of course, this was in the 60s, but you can see it was just, very simple. He did have a swimming pool, but,
Yeah.
nothing elaborate. But he did collect sports cars. That was his
thing.
thing,
Wow. Damn, like his high 1928. Look at that. It's so, nowadays, I don't have kids, but high chairs, there's a lot more going on than just this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Bonanza scripts.
Oh, my goodness.
And his
That's neat.
kids drew pictures and stuff all through it,
Yeah.
which I think makes it even more special.
Yeah. The Rescue. Ben, yeah, Hoss, Adam, Little Joe, yeah. And there they are there.
Right, yeah. He served in Korea.
Right. And then he went to Hollywood.
Right. The little boy on the far left, right side is Dan. The picture. The other, I think, are all women, and they all grew up and stayed here in DeKalb.
Really? The Telford sisters and the Allen sisters, looks like. Huh. Oh my God. Yeah, he was a big boy.
He was a big boy.
Yeah. 1930. When was he born? What did we say? 1928. So here he's like 11, 12. That's a big kid.
Good size,
That's a
yeah.
big kid. Hoss. Wow. A fellow Canadian. Mr. Greene. Look at that. Wow, yeah. And that was Carolyn and I at the museum. Now, he was only 43 when he died in 1972. 43 years old. There was a pulmonary embolism following gallbladder surgery. And that was in California, in LA, in Los Angeles. He went to the hospital for gallbladder surgery, developed a blood clot in his lung, and then he passed away. They didn't really get into specifics on Bonanza because they ran for another almost a full season, but kind of like a half season. Once Dan Blocker passed away, kind of Bonanza just wasn't the same anymore. But there was a sequel series called Bonanza, The Next Generation. They allude to the fact that Hoss drowned trying to save someone else's life. Michael Landon said that the final season, the one without Hoss, is the least popular season. He said that, and I think I said says, but of course we know Michael Landon no longer with us as well. And he said that years later, whenever he needed to cry for a scene, he would think about Dan Blocker's untimely passing. So here we are. It's funny that, not funny, well, it's odd that he's out here because I had always planned on doing a video on him. But I saw something about him. He pops up on my feed or pops up on when I'm researching things more often than not. Dan Blocker history. So I was saying to Karen, I said, I thought he was out in Georgia or somewhere. I knew he wasn't in LA. And she said, no, he's right out back. And there's something in Georgia somewhere that has something to Dan Blocker. Because I saw it earlier this year and I can't remember what it was. I was just like, well, oh, he must be from here. No, this is where he's from. I don't know if that made any sense, but I saw something and it's going to bug me. But there's his father. There's his mother. It's his sister, Virginia. Oh, she did not. She was only 12 years old? No. Looks like it. February 2021, January. It's 12. 11. Oh. Look at that. So you can see lots of people brought out some great stuff here. Polish. American flag. You got the cowboys here. Dog flowers. Hoss Cartwright. Rest in peace. In memory of Dan Blocker or Virginia Shack Blocker. He's got a lot of family still in this area. I think two of his brothers work out in LA, work out in Hollywood. This is made it very easy with the pylons to find his grave, that's for sure. Very interesting. I've never seen that. That's awesome. Texas sky today. It's been hot, hot, hot here in Texas, and today, as you can see, very windy. Not too cold, but raining off and on. B. Dan D. Blocker, December 10th, 1928 to May 13th, 1972. Wow. And again, as much as I thought I knew about Dan Blocker, I knew he passed away, but I thought he passed away after Bonanza, but no, he passed away during the production of the show. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Wow. Before myself and a lot of us that probably watched my channel were even born. But I think we know a lot of my parents that watched it, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and like I said, I will watch it if it comes on. This one's from my father. Rest in peace to the whole Blocker family. Thanks for watching, everybody. Rest in peace, little Aura, Mary, Aura, and the father's name is Aura as well. Yeah, Aura Shack Blocker. Shack. It's being the rain. It's okay. Rest in peace, Hoss. Thanks for watching, everybody. Carolyn, guys, if you're ever in DeKalb, Texas, you have to go to that museum. Not just all the celebrity stuff, but she showed me around the back. There's a schoolhouse, there's a barn with all the old barn stuff and things they found in the rivers here. It's incredible. And the house itself is packed with things from the area that people have donated. And Carolyn, if I may say, your husband built the barn in the back. What? And it's beautiful inside. Like, you could live in there. It's gorgeous. I don't know how people do things like this. It's incredible. So thank you, Carolyn, and thank you for showing me around. Rest in peace, and I love DeKalb. Peace out. You got an air raid site? Wow. Dinner's ready.